Did you know that nearly 85% of people worldwide struggle with low self-confidence at some point in their lives? We live in an age of likes, filters, and constant comparison, and yet so many feel inadequate inside. Today, I'm diving into 12 Stoic habits to see if they can help me build unbreakable confidence. These habits come from ancient philosophy, but they might be exactly what we need now more than ever. Let's see if I can actually stick to them, and more importantly, if they work. Stoicism is a 2,000-year-old philosophy practiced by emperors, generals, and thinkers. It wasn't just theory. It was a daily practice designed to help people navigate life with courage, clarity, and composure. And here's the thing. Stoicism isn't about being emotionless. It's about mastering your emotions so they don't master you. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, afraid to speak up, or like your self-worth depends on other people's opinions, these 12 habits might just change your life. Let's dive in. Confidence today often feels fake or forced. We rely on external validation, a compliment, a promotion, a social media post. But what happens when that praise fades? What happens when rejection shows up instead? That's when true confidence, or the lack of it, reveals itself. Many of us fear failure. We hesitate to take action. We worry about what others think. So we shrink ourselves. But Stoicism flips the script. It teaches us to focus on what we control, to detach from ego and fear, and to develop inner strength that can't be shaken by the outside world. Habit 1. Morning reflection. Each morning, before the noise of the world takes over, ask yourself, what can I control today? This simple question sets the tone for the entire day. It grounds you in clarity and intention. Instead of reacting to everything around you, you proactively direct your focus. Marcus Aurelius used this practice to prepare for the emotional challenges of the day, whether criticism, rudeness, or unpredictability. Morning reflection is like sharpening a sword before battle. You build mental readiness. You remind yourself that your power lies not in the outside world, but in how you choose to think, act, and respond. Start each day by visualizing your values, your goals, and what's in your control. That's the first step to unbreakable confidence. Habit 2. Negative visualization. The Stoics had a powerful technique called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. You imagine what could go wrong: a failed plan, rejection, criticism, or loss. Not to be pessimistic, but to build emotional resilience. When you confront adversity in your mind, you strip it of its power. If and when it actually happens, you're not shocked. You're prepared. For example, if you're afraid of public speaking, visualize the worst-case scenario, forgetting your words. Awkward silence, people laughing. Now, rehearse how you'd respond calmly. This practice rewires your brain. It replaces fear with strategy, panic with composure. Confidence isn't pretending bad things won't happen. It's knowing you can handle them when they do. Habit 3. Embrace discomfort. The Stoics believed comfort weakens the soul. That's why they practiced voluntary discomfort, fasting, sleeping on hard beds, walking barefoot. Why? To remind themselves, I can endure hardship and still thrive. Today, it might be cold showers, waking up early, or tackling that uncomfortable task you keep avoiding. Discomfort trains your willpower. It reminds you that you're stronger than your cravings, your fear, or your excuses. When you embrace discomfort daily, even in small doses, you develop mental armor. And over time, that builds a calm, unshakable self-confidence that doesn't break under pressure. Habit 4. Journal daily. Journaling isn't just a hobby. For Marcus Aurelius, it was a tool for survival. Every night he wrote in his meditations, reflecting on his behavior, his thoughts, and the day's lessons. When you journal, you turn experience into wisdom. You capture fears before they spiral, and you catch toxic thoughts before they take root. You can ask, what did I do well today? Where did I fall short? What can I improve tomorrow? This habit builds self-awareness, and with awareness comes power. A confident person isn't someone who has all the answers. They're someone who reflects, adapts, and grows. Daily. Habit 5. Detach from praise and criticism. Most people are addicted to approval. They chase likes, compliments, and recognition. But Stoicism teaches, your worth isn't tied to others' opinions. Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. When you detach from praise, you also free yourself from criticism. You stop trying to please everyone and start living in alignment with your principles. Confidence is quiet. It doesn't need validation. It comes from knowing your values, living them, and letting go of what others think. That's where real freedom and confidence begins. Habit 6. Use a personal mantra. In moments of stress, fear, or chaos, you need a mental anchor. Stoics used mantras, short phrases, to bring clarity back. Epictetus famously said, it's not things that upset us, but our judgment of them. When something stressful happens, repeat your mantra. I control how I respond. Let it be. This too shall pass. Mantras interrupt spirals of anxiety and return you to the rational center. They act like emotional shock absorbers. And the more you use them, the more your mind is trained to respond with calm confidence under pressure. Habit 7. Practice silence before speaking. In Stoicism, restraint is strength. Before reacting, pause, breathe, then respond. This simple pause can change the entire tone of a conversation. You avoid saying things you'll regret. You listen better. You gain clarity. Seneca wrote, no man was ever wise by chance. Wisdom is intentional, and it begins with silence. Practice waiting a few seconds before replying in a heated moment. Practice choosing words that reflect your values, not your emotions. That's not weakness, that's emotional control, and it's one of the most powerful forms of confidence. Habit 8. Take one bold action daily. Confidence is like a muscle. If you don't use it, it withers. Each day, do one bold thing. Speak your truth. Ask for what you want. Set a boundary. Apply for the opportunity. These small acts of courage compound over time. They send a message to your brain. I act despite fear. The Stoics weren't passive. They didn't wait for life to happen. They took action aligned with virtue, no matter how uncomfortable, and in doing so they cultivated confidence that stood the test of time. Habit 9. Live with intent. Modern life pulls us in a million directions. Notifications, deadlines, distractions. But the Stoics believed in deliberate living. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Does this align with who I want to become? Living with intent means saying no more often. It means protecting your time and energy like a treasure. You gain confidence not just by doing more, but by doing what matters. Your self-respect grows every time you choose purpose over impulse. Habit 10. Read Stoic texts. Want to think like a Stoic? Then read what the Stoics wrote. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, Seneca's Letters, Epictetus's Discourses. These texts are filled with hard-earned wisdom from people who faced real danger, real leadership, real pain. Reading Stoic texts trains your mind to think clearly, act ethically, and remain calm under stress. Even 5 minutes a day can shift your mindset. Confidence comes from mental conditioning. Feed your mind the right thoughts, and it will repay you with strength. Habit 11. Serve others quietly. In a world obsessed with recognition, Stoicism teaches humility. Do good, not for applause, but because it's right. Hold the door. Help someone in need. Offer kind words with no expectation. Why? Because confidence doesn't come from bragging, it comes from alignment. When your actions reflect your values, you feel whole. When you don't need validation, you become magnetic. Quiet service builds deep self-worth, and self-worth is the backbone of real, lasting confidence. Habit 12. End the day with gratitude. Before you sleep, reflect. What did you face today? What did you survive? What did you learn? Gratitude isn't just a feel-good practice, it's an anchoring one. It reminds you of your resilience, your progress, and the blessings already in your life. Marcus Aurelius ended his days with reflection. You can too. Write down 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how small. Gratitude keeps your confidence grounded in reality, not fantasy. And when you end the day with peace, you begin the next one with strength. There was a time I constantly doubted myself. I was waiting for approval, playing small, avoiding risk. But one quote shifted everything. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." I started with just 3 habits: journaling, intentional action, and detaching from opinions. Within weeks, I was showing up differently. Not louder, not flashier, just more grounded and more in control. True confidence isn't about ego, it's about inner peace and personal alignment. Drop a comment and tell me, which Stoic habit hit you the hardest? And if you want to go deeper, check out my next video, how to use Marcus Aurelius's 3 rules to change your life. Remember, confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being disciplined, present, and unshakable. Let's keep growing. See you in the next one.